Hi guys, Miss Navarro here, and I am actually on a field trip right now. I am on a walk in my neighborhood and I am searching for some natural resources. What are natural resources, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. Natural resources are things that we find in nature that we use to create other things. Natural resources are not man-made. They come from our earth. They come from nature. And believe it or not, natural resources are all around us. Oh my goodness, I think that I've found one. This right here, this tree is a natural resource. How is a tree a natural resource, you might ask? Well, let's see. Trees are natural resources because we use trees to build things. We use the wood from trees to build houses and to build other things with wood. We need wood for a lot of reasons, and those come from trees. So trees are just one example of a natural resource. Let's keep walking around my neighborhood to see what else we can find. Miss Navarro is still on her walk, and I came across something amazing. I came across a flower bed. If you look closely, you see that this is a flower bed. Now, what is this dirt that the flowers are growing in? I might just pick some up. These flowers are grown in dirt that seems to be fertilized. This is what we call soil. Soil is another natural resource that is very important. Soil and dirt comes from the earth and flowers grow out of it. Soil is really important because flowers and plants grow in soil, and to be honest, that's how a lot of food is grown. They're grown in dirt from soil. Seeds are planted and then fruit is grown. This happens in the rainforest, in people's gardens. Farmers do it, and it happens all over our world. So soil is another natural resource that I just came across walking around my neighborhood. Miss Navarro is still on her field trip, my walk around the neighborhood looking for other natural resources. And I came across something else I thought was really interesting. We touched on this earlier, but I came across another big tree. Do you see that tree behind me? It's so big, and trees are interesting because as a natural resource, they emit oxygen into the air that we breathe. We have to have trees because trees emit oxygen so we can breathe air, which, believe it or not, air is also a natural resource. The air that we breathe in and breathe out is a natural resource that's all around us all the time. I wonder if you could go search for some natural resources around your neighborhood. Ms. Navarro is still on her hunt for natural resources, and I came across something that just blew my mind. I found this. What is this? I found this in a flower bed garden, and I realized that this is a rock. And as I pick it up and think about what this rock might be used for, I realize that this rock is also a natural resource. Rocks are something that come from the earth. They are not man-made, and people use them for things all the time. People use rocks for creating materials, building roads, building bridges, and even making things like jewelry. Rocks are so important, and it is another natural resource that comes from the earth. It's not man-made. People don't make them themselves. The earth creates them. They come from nature. Oh boy, that walk was really tiring, and I am exhausted. I poured myself a glass of water, so since we're done looking for natural resources, I'm gonna drink it now. Excuse me, I just did a spit take because I've realized something. Water is a natural resource too. Oh my goodness. This water right here that Miss Navarro is drinking after her long walk around the neighborhood is the same water that you find in lakes and oceans and streams. It's the same water that we shower in and we bathe in. It's the same kind of water that we put in swimming pools and that we see in ponds. And it's the same water that evaporates from those bodies of water into the sky and condenses into clouds and then falls to the earth as rain. There's a finite amount of water. There's a condensed amount of water on the earth, and actually water makes up 3/4 of the earth. And it's a natural resource because water comes from the earth. It's a water cycle. We've seen in the water cycle how it moves through oceans and it evaporates up into the sky, and the wind blows it and it condenses into clouds, and then those water droplets get heavy and they fall from clouds as rain, and the cycle restarts. This water that I'm drinking, this is a finite amount of it. This water is the same water that's on our earth, and that's why water is very, very, very important, because it goes into our bodies and we use it for cooking and bathing and cleaning. So I guess that water is a natural resource too, along with rocks, trees, wood, soil, and air. Wow. Miss Navarro is astounded by all of the natural resources she was able to find just walking around her neighborhood. And like I said earlier, I just can imagine the amount of natural resources you can find walking around your neighborhood or even in your backyard. It's really bizarre. And now I want to say a word about rainforests. This week we've learned a lot about rainforests, and I bring them up because rainforests are such an important source of natural resources. There are so many natural resources in rainforests. Think about it. Rainforests have all sorts of wood from trees. Rainforests have fruits that grow from plants that grow in soil, which is also a natural resource. And some of those fruits produce honey and different kind of oils that we use for certain things like shampoos and perfumes. Rainforests also have fibers such as bamboo that people use for all sorts of things that to build their house with, decorations, or just personal things that people use bamboo for in everyday life. Rainforests have so many different natural resources in them, which is why we are going to read about a rainforest now. Miss Navarro has a story called Saving the Rainforest, and this story is going to teach us more about the kinds of things we might find in the rainforest. Saving the rainforest. What is a rainforest? A rainforest is a warm, wet place with many tall trees, vines, and bright flowers. Everywhere you look, there is something wonderful to see and to hear. Monkeys screech from the trees. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Frogs croak and snakes slither all around the ground. Ribbit. Tiny birds whiz around and chirp, 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 chirp. Tree trunks are covered with green vines, and the ground is soft and it's springy. The rainforest is so beautiful. It's also an important part of our world. The hummingbird lives in the rainforests of Costa Rica. The screams of the howler monkey can be heard throughout the rainforest. There's the hummingbird and the howler monkey. Look inside. The rainforest is home to many plants and many animals. People live in neighborhoods near the rainforest too. They all need the rainforest for food and for shelter. If you flew above the rainforest, you could not see the ground. This is because the trees form a huge green umbrella over the forest. This is called a canopy. There is a map that shows the world's rainforests. The red line in this map represents the equator. Think of it as a belt around the middle of the earth. The rainforests are found along that belt. When it rains, the water hits the tops of the trees, then it moves down to their roots. In the thick undergrowth, the air stays moist. Tree roots drink up the water, then the water moves up the inside of the trees to the tops. The green leaves give off some of this moisture into the air. When there is enough moisture in the air, it rains again. Rain falls, then the roots absorb water. The water goes up to the trees, and then the leaves give off this moisture. Lots of food. If you were lost in a rainforest, you would not go hungry. Oranges, nuts, and many other foods grow there. Trees and plants in the rainforest give off 20% of world's oxygen. We all need oxygen to live. If trees in the rainforest are cut down, there would be less oxygen for us to breathe. The people who live near rainforests make their homes from wood that they find there. They also burn the wood to keep warm and to cook their food. They hunt the animals for food. They eat many They eat the many foods that grow in the rainforest. For instance, bananas grow in rainforests. A worker picks and carries the fruit, and the fruit is shipped to stores. One big food crop is cocoa. It grows in and near the forests. You drink it in hot cocoa, and it's in candy bars too. Cocoa is spelled C-A-C-A-O, cocoa. From cocoa to chocolate. Cocoa plants blossom in the cool shade of tall trees. Pods hang from the branches, and inside these pods are seeds. The seeds are dried in the sun until they are dark brown, and then they are ground into powder. This powder is used to make many foods. So first it blossoms, then it becomes pods, cocoa pods. Then it becomes seeds, and it is produced into powder, cocoa powder. Cocoa is chocolate. The rainforest provides more food for the people who live there. Some of the plants are used to make medicines. These medicines save lives. The rosy periwinkle flower is used to make medicine. Curare comes from plants in the rainforest. This is called curare. It's spelled C-U-R-A-R-E. Curare comes from plants in the rainforests. Some doctors use curare when they operate on a person. It helps the patient feel better. Let's save it. Once rainforests covered huge areas of the world. Now these forests and their continents are shrinking. Now these forests and their contents are shrinking. People cut down the trees to build homes and to farm. Nearly half of the world's rainforests have been destroyed. They are still being destroyed today. This is not good. Workers in the Amazon cut down trees to plant crops. Rainforests are home to over half of the world's plants and animals. When the rainforest is lost, the circle of life breaks down. The climate changes. The plants and animals die off. These villagers worked in the Nigerian government to save a rainforest. This man is planting fruit trees to keep the rainforest green. People have come up with many, many ways to address this problem. One way to save the forest is to learn all about them. Another way is to get wood from somewhere else. Now there are tree farms where wood is grown. If you can get trees from a farm, then you don't need to cut down a forest. Cutting a rainforest tree should only be done as a very last resort. Conclusion. Without the rainforest, some animals would lose their homes and we humans would have less oxygen. You can help. Share what you know about the rainforest with others. Soon, everyone will know why we need to keep our rainforests safe. Flowers like these orchids grow in rainforests around the world. So you guys, thank you for listening to my story about saving the rainforest. We've learned about all the different kind of natural resources you might find in rainforests or even just outside around your house. So what I would like you to do is to go outside and find some natural resources. See if you can find some pieces of wood or a flower bed, some rocks or some sticks, anything out there around your house that is a natural resource. And I would like you to sort them by size. So I want you to sort them by natural resources that are small and natural resources that are big. Sort them by size, sort them by shape, and sort them by color. Find these natural resources such as flowers, leaves, plants, soil, rocks, sticks, and sort them by size, shape, and color. After you've done that, I would like you to take a picture of your work and post it on the Facebook page. You can sort them in any way you want. You can bring them into your home and sort them. You can take pictures of them and sort them digitally into different columns. Or you can sort them, take pictures of them, and then draw them and write about it in your journal. However you would like to sort them, but go outside and find some natural resources. Sort them, take pictures of them, and post them to the Facebook page. I can't wait to see your work, and thank you for listening about the importance of saving the rainforest and coming on my walk with me today.